First question is from Kings and Bears, and it says, how do I get to grips with what my demographic / audience wants? That's a really good question. So the question relates to me saying you've got to bring value to your audience. And then the question is, okay, that's fine, but how do I know what they want? Now, this is a very interesting question because what this is musicians overthinking, okay? So let's break this down, okay? When it comes to bringing value to your audience, firstly, there's two parts to this. There's what you do, because that is the main reason why people will like your page. Then after the what you do, then it's going to be what can you do to market what it is that you do to get the word spread to your fan base and outside of your fan base. But when it comes to initially what it is that you do to bring value, well, it's simply that you do the thing that you do. So if you're a singer-songwriter, then you're going to sing and write songs because people are actually liking your page and they're liking you because they've heard you and they've gone, oh, I love your voice, or I love your songs, or I love what you stand for. So we don't need to overthink this, okay? When it comes to you bringing value, this week we had an amazing thing where I came into the office and one of the guys who's got this here, Connor, gave away, as a competition prize, gave away his guitar. And I was like waxing lyrical. I was like, that's fucking brilliant. And it is. It's amazing. I'm so chuffed and proud of him for doing something like that, which bypasses what everyone else is doing. When I'm talking about the noise, that what can you do, which is just better than everybody else. And that was it. He just came up and went, fuck it, I'll just give away one of my guitars. Ballsy as fuck and fantastic. But taking that aside, because that is more marketing, when it comes to this question, I think what's really, really interesting is a split here. Okay, because one of the big bits is what it is that you do. So what we're trying to do, what this channel is all about, and what the music industry is all about is kind of the 50-50 split. You have to find the sweet spot, the money shot. You've got to find that bliss point of what is the difference between your product, your music, whatever you want to call it, your art, that side to it, and then over this side, the marketing of it. Now, too many musicians spend far too much time on the art and the product and the creativity side to it, and therefore aren't getting their music out there, and therefore they're not getting the results that they want. Some people, very few, but some people are spending so much time on the marketing side of getting their name out there, but they're not concentrating enough on actually making a great product, a great song, a great bit of art, great lyrics, a great sound, a great guitar sound, whatever it's going to be. Now, your job is to find that perfect sweet spot between the two, because this isn't a marketing exercise. This channel is about how you're going to get your music out there. But it kind of takes for granted that you are doing something that people are enjoying, that people want to hear more about. Your job is to find that sweet spot that when you do something, people say, oh, I love what you do. I absolutely think it's fantastic. And then after that, and this is the important bit, after that, then is the bit where you say, right, how am I going to get my music or my art or my product or whatever it is out there to the masses. And so that's what this channel is all about. It's not about just business and marketing. It's about just as much about creativity and art and doing something different. So in answer to this question of how do you bring value to your audience? Well, the first thing is you should be doing that on a general day-to-day basis. If, for example, I look at the vloggers that I watch or the musicians and the bands that I follow, the main thing that I want is them. I want to know what is they're doing because I'm interested in them. I'm nosy. I want to know what they do on a daily basis. If they're singers, I want them to sing because that's the thing that I've probably liked them the most, because they're interesting characters and they have a talent that I buy into. So first and foremost, you do the thing that you do, and you do it a lot more than most musicians are doing. Like the amount of singer-songwriters will put a video out every month. And I'm like, you have the power now to do this every day. You can do a cover or an original song or whatever it is. Whenever you write them, whenever you've got it together, you could do that twice a day if you want to. It's just that musicians think that they need to write a song, record the song, put the song out, do a bit of promotion, wait for a month, And all I'm saying is right now, speed that process up. You know, what does your audience want? It wants to hear, if you're an originals band, it wants to hear your band on a kind of regular basis. It wants to see you live. It wants to see what you're doing. It wants to hear what you stand for, but it wants to hear you. Like, you know, if I think of the bands that I love, I want to listen to them. So that's the first thing. Now, after that, when it comes to delving into your actual demographic, this is the next part is experimenting, because that's what this is. It is very difficult with social media to give a one-stop answer. Everyone tries to do that. They try to give this one-stop answer of, oh, you need to post at 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, well, not necessarily. That depends who your audience is. Because if you post at 8 o'clock at night and your demographic is 11-year-olds, probably not the best time. So everything depends on your audience, your skill set, what you're trying to do. Like my audience and the people who are watching this, they aren't listening to this wanting my talent. What they're doing is they want my experience within helping musicians for the last 20 years. So you've got to think about your audience, your demographic, what is that they want, but then you've got to experiment. And I think that experimenting is very, very important, because if you're going to give away prizes, if you're going to do competitions, it might work for some of you, it might not work for others. I mean, there are certain tried and tested things, but I think the experimenting is very important. But then you've got to use a bit of common sense. Who are your audience? I'm guessing most of you people watching this are going to be musicians and in bands. So therefore, your audience could be 14 to 18, but it could be 30 to 40. Each of those people are going to want different things. You know, people who are 14 and 15 years old are definitely going to want loads of cool competition prizes from bands. People who are 35, probably not so much. So you've got to experiment with what value that you're bringing. But the most important thing I'd say is, when people are watching your content, it's because they like you. So what you've got to give them is you, your time. You've got to give them your story. That's really important. You've got to give them your journey, your story, and your time. And if you can do that, people will really buy into it. And that's the bit you want. But don't underestimate the power of the art and the creativity side of what you do, the talent of what it is you do. That's the main reason why someone will follow a musician page. Yes, they want to hear the news, but what they want to do is a video will pop up of that artist singing that they'll go, oh, that's fantastic. That's what I want to see. I want to see that guitarist playing guitar. I follow Joe Bonamassa on Facebook, because every so often a video of him, and all it is just him playing guitar. And I'm like, that's value. That's all I need. I don't need anything more than that. All I need to know is that when Joe Bonamassa is going to play some guitar, I get to see it and go, oh, he's tasty as fuck. Simple as that. So don't overthink this. This is a very, very simple thing. The value that you're bringing is you do the thing that you do effectively. If you're a singer, you sing. If you're a songwriter, you write songs. If you're a guitarist, you play guitar. And you're doing that in a way that people will appreciate, and then you're experimenting to find out the best way of doing it. Should you be doing it live? Should you be doing covers? Should you be doing certain type of styles? Should you be telling your story? Either way, all of that comes under one bracket, which is doing the thing that you do and experimenting with it. So when it comes to what you should do, I should do a video on 10 things that you could post that could bring value to your audience. But to start with, it's a good question. And I think to start with, it is, do not overthink this. This is about consistency and posting on a kind of general day-to-day basis that touches base and builds relationships with the people who've already liked your page. Because too many people are going, I collect people, but I want the next person. And then they just go into they go back there. I've got another person who likes my page, brilliant. And I've got another one, it's all about advertising and getting more people. Meanwhile, the people that you've got, they've just fucked off. So they're not there. So this idea of having 10,000 people on your Facebook, when you're constantly looking at the next 1,000, most of those have gone. So you're just bringing them value. How you bring them value is you do the thing in which they came to you in the first place for, without overthinking it.